Ladies and gentlemen, you are about to witness for the first time on any screen a preview of things to come in your car of tomorrow.
His name is Brian. He's on a bus trip to the zoo.
The Morning Stream. All the ladies love velour.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to TMS. This is the morning stream for Thursday, July 10th. Juul 10th.
Smoke your Juul 10th.
That's right. Get your. Today's a big day for Tony Hawk fans. Tony Hawk's remake of 3 and 4 is out today.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, if you like a little tricky business, doing an ollie off of a rail. I don't know what any of that is. I'm making that up.
A side finder wiggle tip.
There you go, wiggle tip.
Wheel spinner.
There you go. Yeah, you know, listen to Brian and I. We know what we're with the kids.
Yeah. I'm a big skateboard person. This is a big day. This is a big day for folks who like really shitty reality TV shows. Yeah. Because Big Brother is back for the summer, baby.
Fantastic. I heard there was some catch this year, some kind of gimmick.
Well, there are always some stupid gimmick. Last year's gimmick was that stupid AI thing, which was like the most like it was just so shoehorned and horrible. They did some deep fakes of some of the players, giving lying to the other players kind of stuff in one of these weird. Have you seen those boxes that look like a person is inside them, but it's really well done to look three-dimensional?
Oh, yeah, I've seen
Jimmy
it.
Kimmel's used it a few times.
That's where I saw it, I think, as a Kimmel clip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really cool looking. Like, it looks like, I think they used it with Tom Hiddleston or something.
It's very weird because it makes you feel like they're there, but they're not. Yeah, and the only sign that they're not is that they're in the box.
Right, exactly. Yeah, they did that with the Big Brother thing last year. Listen,
you're a fan though, right? You check it every year and watch the whole thing.
I'm a fan, and I feel as gross watching Big Brother as I do sing Bros, Dutch Bros.
They should call it Big Bro. That's what they should call it.
Oh my gosh, maybe I have a brother complex.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh my
that's
gosh, it's that's where it all stems from. Is like I always wanted a brother. I wish I had a brother. So I'll watch Big Brother instead.
Yeah. I've never seen a single moment of Big Brother. I have no idea what. I know I get
good in that. Yeah.
I get the basic idea and the surveillance and the whatnot from the early seasons, but I don't know.
Here's what I watched Survivor. The challenges are great. The strategy behind the show is good because you've got to think about, all right, how do I keep these people close, but only close long enough to get rid of them at a point where I can make it to the end. It's really, it's a very cool little sociology experiment. Right. Amazing Race. Love seeing different countries. Love seeing like, oh, this is what makes that country great, or here's the kind of cheese they make in that country, or whatever. Right. And the challenges.
Yeah. The challenges in particular are great on there. I love watching that contest.
They are. I care so little about the whole I didn't come here to make friends dynamic. And that is all that effing Big Brother is. There are these stupid challenges that kind of try to make it legitimate. Yeah. But it is the very definition of guilty pleasure.
There's nothing wrong with that. Everybody's got their trash TV. I think that's fine. I watch, I wouldn't say famously, but I've talked about it on the show before. I watched every season of Jersey Shore when it was on, when it was new. I haven't seen any of the spin-outs. I haven't seen any of the newer ones. It's like Alabama Shore or whatever the hell it is. I haven't watched any of that, so I can't, I'm not like a dyed-in-the-wool fan. It's just sometimes garbage hits right and you just want garbage.
Exactly. You know what? It's the same with food. Sometimes you got to have a really crappy burger from a...
Yeah. I might want one today.
They can't always be Five Guys or Smash Burger. Sometimes you just got to go Carl's Jr.
Yeah.
I don't know. Who we're never going to get as a sponsor for this show.
Jack in the Box. Never Jack in the Box.
Jack in the Box. Good.
They're never doing it. And I like their tacos, but their burgers are something to be desired. I'll tell you what. Yeah. Blah. Or they leave something to be desired. All right, well, we're going to get to it. We got a lot going on. Yeah. I got to do a math thing with you that has been driving me freaking nuts. Now, understand that I have not done too much deep dive on this because I wanted to do that deep dive with you because I want another brain. Yeah.
Oh, love it.
So this may be completely embarrassing for me, and the answer is stupid. It may just be a basic trick people are playing, but I cannot figure this out. So,
Oh, good. Oh, I love these kind of things.
this has a visual aspect. I'm going to put a 20 right here,
Okay, a $20 bill right there.
and I'm going to put another 20 right here.
Okay.
Now we have $40
the
there.
same. It's really the same. One of those is counterfeit because they have the same serial number.
Right. Now what happened?
Okay.
Oh, good point. Pretend these are
Really
separate bills.
There's still only $20 on screen.
Pretend these are separate bills, just for the sake of experience. So I put down that 20, and what Brian did, we're going to pretend, is put this 20 on top of it. So now we have $40 of our combined $20
Sure.
each, right?
Right.
Then, let's see if I make sure I get this right. So then I give you another 20 here.
Give me directly another 20.
I give you, well, okay, let's call this the pile.
Okay.
And I'm going to go ahead and say, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pay you 20 plus 10. Here's a 10. So that's
Oh, this
30.
feels like one of those Harry Anderson ways that you can make money by asking people for change.
Maybe, kind of, yeah, kind of. Maybe that's the vibe I was getting, and it was kind of bugging me. So, all right, so now I've said, hey, I'll pay you 30 for the stack,
Right.
which means you only paid 20 into the stack, right?
Correct.
So you're
Yes.
$10 up on the deal,
So I'm $10 up on the deal.
and
correct.
I am also $10 up on the deal. How?
No, you're not $10 up on the deal because you've put in 20, you put in 50 basically,
Right.
Because
Right.
you've given me 30 and you've put in 20 into the pot and you're taking 40. So you're $10 down on the deal.
Okay, so if I put in, so I put in 20, then you put in 20.
Right.
We both put in
Correct.
20.
Correct. Yes.
Then, let's see. Then you say, hey, I'll sell you this stack for 30, which is a pretty good deal, right? Because it's 40. I'm going to get $10
Correct.
for free.
Correct.
So I say, okay, here's my 20 and my 10. That's my $30.
Right. You're not giving me the 20 from the stack. You're giving me another 20 from your pocket.
A new 20.
So so from your pocket you have pulled $50, right? You've put your original 20 from the stack.
Oh, right. 20,
plus
40, 10.
$30 plus 30 to me. So you've taken $50 out of your wallet and you're going to put 40 back in when you get that stack.
Right. So what I've done is nothing.
You've given me $10.
I've given you $10.
Correct.
Okay, why didn't that make sense to me last night? I'm like one of those people that should not watch the dudes with the 3 cups or whatever. I'm gonna get fooled.
You definitely should not. You're one of those people that Harry Anderson would make a killing.
Yeah.
would have made a killing from.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's exactly what this trick is, and I kind of know in my bones that that's what this is, but I
Yeah.
couldn't figure it out. I took it around. I go, Kim, help me with this. She goes, I can't think about stuff that's like this right now. So she was like 2 out of it. She had a very busy day, so I didn't use her. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do this on TMS tomorrow, and we're going to do it with Brian, who's used to solving shitty quizzes like this.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you knew right away. So there is no, if the money had not been mine to begin with,
which money? The 20 that
the 20 I laid down, then I would be
Yeah.
up on the deal, and you would be up on the deal.
correct. Yes.
But
exactly.
because it's my original 20, what this trick does is quickly make you
it makes
forget.
you forget that you have 20 in that stack already, and you're paying me 30. You think you're getting 40, but you're really giving up 10.
All right, that makes sense now. Jeez. I'm glad I can put that behind me.
Completely unrelated question: is Kim going to be doing the negotiating for the hotel for Nerdtacular 2026?
Yeah, actually, yes. In part.
Okay,
In part. Yeah, they're gonna go. Now look, if we give you 150 rooms, and you pay us for half of those, and then we pay for. That's what's going to
The
happen.
other half,
Yeah.
right. We're going to pay for the other half, but we'll buy both halves of the rooms for.
Yeah, her or Corinne or someone else. Some help from Barry. He's got some contacts. We're going to do it without. We're going to do it without my mathematical input. I can promise you that.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, it's good for everybody.
Excellent.
Thomas called in, had something to say, and we're going to hear it. I don't know what this is. Something about Superman, I think, and he is from Missouri. Here we go.
Hello, Scott and Brian. This is Thomas from Missouri, and I just wanted to disagree with something that Brian said a few episodes ago.
Oh,
He basically said that Batman is Bruce Wayne and then becomes Batman to fight crime, and whereas Superman is Superman, but he's Clark Kent, and it's the disguise he puts on to basically be able to walk around. I disagree with that. I actually see it the other way around. I see Batman is the persona that he has all the time. That basically he's all about fighting crime all the time, just to prevent what happened to him happening to other people. And Bruce Wayne is just a disguise he wears when it's convenient for him. You can see it in the comics and the movies and the animated shows. It's just something he puts on in order to get something done. But anyway, I love the show, guys, and I'll keep listening. Thanks.
Oh, good.
Oh, well, let's see if you still keep listening after what I'm going to tell you, Thomas.
I mean, my initial impression is he makes a good point, but Brian, I'd like to hear your official response.
I absolutely know what he's saying. He's basically, instead of saying that the Batman is is just a costume he puts on, he's always been the vigilante inside, right? And basically, Bruce Wayne is the act that he puts on outside of that, the billionaire playboy act that he puts on outside. But he's always his inner soul is Batman.
It's always bubbling underneath the surface, just waiting to be, I got to be in this meeting, but later
so I know what he's saying. But what I'm talking about is that, it turned it on its head. Peter Parker puts on a costume and becomes Spider-Man. Bruce Wayne puts on a costume and becomes Batman. Those things you can't disagree with, Thomas, right? I mean, whether or not he's Batman deep inside, which I agree he is, at least when he fell down a well and saw a bunch of bats, or was in a alley with his parents. I don't know. They really need to explain that.
I hope they.
Story.
Yeah, we need that. Somebody tell us how it started, please, because we don't get enough of that. We don't ever see
better,
that.
Exactly. Better. I think we're gonna get a Superman origin again, aren't we? Like sending from Krypton? Because I
don't think so. I think it's supposed to
pick up right where he is.
Well,
I heard something that I'm not going to say.
Maybe it's flashbacky,
Maybe. Okay, maybe.
Not
I heard
spend
about
too
a
much
cameo, an actor cameo. Oh. Yes.
Hubba hubba.
That might. Okay, anyway. So
the corpse of Gene Hackman. Rest his soul.
Got to get Superman. All right. So Bruce Wayne puts on a costume, becomes Batman. Peter Parker puts on a costume, bemes Spider-Man.
Correct. I believe in this already.
Bruce Banner changes when he gets angry. Don't make him angry, and becomes the Hulk. Kal-El is that hero coming from Krypton, but puts on the disguise. His disguise is the other way around. He is Superman from Krypton, but
to blend in with humans, he has to become Kid from Iowa, has to become Clark Kent, the reporter.
Exactly.
You know what?
Exactly.
I agree with Brian. I'm going to go ahead and side with Brian on this. I think that is the differentiator. Now to him, in world,
Cyranex sums up what I'm saying so much better than I did. He says, I see what Brian means now. Bruce adds a disguise to become Batman. Clark takes off a disguise to become Superman.
Kind of it. That's kind of it. Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good way of saying it. I think that on the ground, though, in world, in lore, if you're someone in Metropolis and you see Clark Kent or Superman, to you, it is that. It's a guy who puts on a suit and becomes a thing.
Right.
But if you look at the whole of it, then, he comes as that thing and disguises as one of us, or doesn't disguise, but becomes one of us so that he can mill around with us, and then reverts to his natural self, as enhanced by the yellow sun, when he's not being Clark Kent. So there is a difference. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Somebody says like Martian Manhunter too, Laurencio Roman. I think Wonder Woman is kind of the same thing. She is the Amazon. What's her? I know her.
It's Amazonian.
God, why am I blanking? Well, she's Amazonian. I know her disguise is
Diana Prince. Yeah.
But what's her? She's not Wonder Woman among the Amazons. They don't say, "Hey, Wonder Woman." What do they?
They just call her Diana, I think.
They call her real name is Diana.
Yeah, that's her real name. Yeah. So so when she
that's what was not sounding right to me for whatever reason.
But when she comes down here and she isn't Wonder Woman, is she like selling? Is she work for Coldwell Banker? Like, what does she do? Like, what?
Yeah, I don't know. What is her? Yeah, does she?
Because we never hear about that. That's the weird bit.
Have a fake-o job like the Daily Planet reporter and stuff?
I mean, the movies may have had something, but from a comics point of view, I don't remember if she had a specific... Like, it's iconic that Clark Kent is a reporter, right? We all know it and think it, and he puts the glasses on, takes them off, all that stuff. But Diana Prince, I think she just... I mean, based on my childhood knowledge, she just spins around a lot and turns into herself.
Right, exactly. Yeah. I mean, there's so many discussions back and forth going on in the chat right now about, well, Superman was not born Clark Kent. Batman was not born Batman, right? They were,
No.
they were personas that they took on.
Right.
It all comes down to, and it's the argument that Thomas was making of who the character is inside, not just the outward persona. Superman has been Superman from the point where he was Kal-El coming to Earth. If you believe Bruce Wayne always had that vigilante spirit in him, even as a child, then yeah, he's always been Batman. So
Same thing works for Superman. They all,
exactly. So yes, so I mean, you can easily make both sides of the argument if you take that factor of who they are inside. But I'm just talking about outward appearance. Bruce puts on a mask, becomes Batman. Superman takes off his Clark Kent costume and becomes Superman.
Yeah. One of the weird things about Marvel, specifically the MCU, one thing that they did was they got used to the concept of not having to have secret identities so much. So they're like, I am Iron Man. Oh, now Tony Stark's the same guy. Peter Parker has his moments. Different characters. That's a different, or that got all wiped, right? Everybody.
That got all wiped because of Doctor Strange and created the Phase 5 multiverse saga because of that.
Sure. But they're just a little more loose with it. Whereas DC is, for whatever reason, DC is hardcore about secret identity. Every character's got to oh no, keep it quiet. It was it's a trope they just could not let go of. It had to be a thing.
And that is like when you're dealing with movie characters, because actors want people to see their faces, you've got to do weird things like say, well, I guess everybody knows that Natasha is Black Widow, and everybody knows that Tony Stark is Iron Man, so that we don't have to have him fully in costume every time he's interacting with other people.
Yeah, and you don't have to keep trying to retell those stories. You just go for it, hit the ground running. I actually think it's a good way to do it.
I think so too.
It's also a great way to end Iron Man 1. It was a fantastic ending. So
yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. It really was like I guess we're just doing this. We're just saying who we are now. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
The weird one for me was always Thor. Because in his origin story, the actual original origin story, Dr. Don Blake, Gimpy Don Blake or Don Blake? Why doesn't that sound? That sounds wrong now.
I don't know.
Finds a staff, uses it as a walking stick, but then taps it on the ground and it turns into Mjolnir and he becomes Thor.
Oh, shit. I didn't know this.
Yeah. And then...
I hate that origin.
Yes, for sure. And then they said, ooh, we hate that origin too.
Yeah. Retcon. Yep.
Exactly. Let's make him the Norse god. And he just assumed the role of Don Blake when he was on Earth kind of thing.
Wow. Tapped a stick and became Thor.
They really kind of pushed that whole thing to the side and said, that's not going to be our real Thor origin story.
No, you have to. You have to push that aside.
Yeah. It's so a staff that was secretly Mjolnir the whole time?
Yeah.
What?
Do you know that the Simon & Schuster guys, or not Simon & Schuster?
Siegel.
Yeah, those two guys that made Superman sold it for $130 to Detective Comics.
Yeah.
Idiots. I mean, that's just ridiculous.
Not Detective Action Comics, right?
Oh, was it Action at the time?
Superman.
Yeah.
Superman.
Yeah, you're right. So essentially, DC or future DC. So they do that, and then they immediately go make a new character. I saw this little documentary about it. That new character was just like a comedy guy that had like a honking horn nose, and he would open his chest and like a punching glove would come out on a thing and punch bad guys in the face. It was the stupidest shit you've ever seen.
It was really, really dumb. Who was the? I'm sorry, it was Siegel and Schuster, not Simon. Who was
Simon and Schuster? Is the publisher. That's a book publisher.
That's a different thing. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what was confusing me.
I always say that when I think of it.
There was a company that turned down Superman first before they went to DC. I guess. Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. Detective, because they were Detective Comics at the time. That's what the DC stood for.
Yeah, and they bought it for $130.
Yeah. But there was a company that turned down, said, no, we don't think this Superman thing has got legs. Maybe go sell it to somebody else.
Who was that, and why was $130 too high a price?
I know.
I mean, I realize we're talking like the 20s or whatever it was, 30s, I guess,
Yeah.
but still, geez, Louises. It's probably.
I know. I mean, somebody got fired.
I mean, what is that like?
Somebody never worked in this town.
It's like $1,000 today or something. Still too
Yeah.
low. Like, what are you doing? Anyway, to go look that up, you guys want to see that stupid comedian thing, Comedy Man or whatever
That's
they call
funny
him.
with a honking nose. That's really
Yeah,
goofy.
nobody read that. They were like, "What? This is so dumb." You missed the. Those, I mean, look, those guys had a moment, a lightning in a bottle moment. They sold it for $130, and the lightning was done, and the bottle was empty for the rest of their career. Done. No offense to them, they should get money for all the, their families who want money for being the guys that started it all. Fine, they deserve it. Just like, anybody who created any characters that are a big deal, you probably ought to pay them a little bit of your billions of dollars.
Will somehow James Gunn work Funny Man into a future
Let's hope not.
DCU movie?
Let's really hope not. I mean, I don't even know who owns rights to it. It's not a DC thing anyway, so I don't know who we would even have to get it from.
Oh, right, because it wasn't DC. They left. This is after they left DC and created a new thing.
Yeah, and they weren't even with DC. They just sold.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah,
right?
they just sold it to them and then moved on. Because back then, I think that's all this was. This comics world was just, I got an idea. What do you think of this? Here's 4 panels. And he's, we'll buy it. $500. See you later.
I guess. I mean, I guess it's a different thing when you've got Kirby and Ditko and those folks. They actually worked for Marvel. They would basically do the things that somebody came in and sold the 4 panels to and said, all right, yeah, we'll turn that into a
Yeah,
a
their 130 came in the form of pay for a month's work or whatever. Nobody treated these guys right, in my opinion. All right, moving on. Let's get to Dottie about the MS-150.
Oh, okay.
Dear Simone and Buxton. I don't know where that comes from. Do you know the
Simone
reference?
and Buxton. Yes, that's Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Simone is everybody's got a big butt, and Buxton is the rich kid who wanted to buy the bike.
I have clearly gone too long without seeing this film.
Buxton.
All I remember is what did he say on the mic? Paging Mr. Herbin. That's all I'm thinking.
Paging Mr. Herbin.
That's all I can think of.
Because nobody can do it as well as Dunaway.
Dear Simone and Buxton, in my mind, Brian is finishing the MS-150 on a Red Schwinn-like Pee-wee dream in the Tour de France. Best of luck on the ride. We got this prior to the ride. And also best wishes to the Aunt Barb. This was after we heard about her accident. So I thought it was very nice of Dottie. Thank you, Dottie.
Yeah, thanks, Dottie.
Thanks, Dottie.
I see where she's going.
What? I don't know if that's a real name or not. Then the file is anonymous, so who knows? But
gotcha. Yeah.
That'd be great if it was. But do you know if
I'm a lone wolf, Dottie.
how is Aunt Barb since the accident?
She's doing better. I don't know if she's been back on her bike, but she took that whole week off to recover. Her PCP told her and confirmed that she had a concussion, which they didn't pick up or didn't do the tests for when she was in the ER. So it's good. It's good that she didn't ride. She was really bummed. Like she was tearing up. She met me she saw us off at the starting line. She met us at the finish line both days, and like everybody on the team, she waved them in and cheered them on and that sort of thing. So
right.
She was bummed to not have ridden, but she, obviously it's better for her that she didn't.
Yeah, she needed to convalesce after her accident.
She needed to convalesce, exactly. No, I have not been back on the bike since the ride, but it's only been 2 weeks, and so I'm planning on getting on tomorrow and doing a ride. Maybe even today after. God, it's already 84 degrees.
Shit.
I hate riding in the heat.
I don't like it either. I don't like doing much in the heat except just chilling. I like sitting in it.
Like a beach, great. Even an amusement park that's got water rides, terrific. Or even a water park for that matter. No problem. But
I'd do a hike, I think, but I wouldn't do a bike ride.
I don't know if I do something that.
Depends on the hike and elevation.
I guess if it's a hike in the mountains, you've got shade from the trees and stuff like that.
Yeah, and usually about a 10-degree drop in temperature and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Brian, you got a little something here. What's this about?
I do. So Tech Drums and Rock and Roll, or Tech Drum Rock and Roll, sent me a message on Discord and said, here's an interesting topic. I'm going to read what he put verbatim, and then we'll talk about it.
All right.
He says, as I'm sure you know, there is always an intense debate about pineapple and other non-traditional toppings on pizza.
Sure.
I think there's a bit of racism in this. Hear me out. Have you heard these same criticisms about tacos or sushi? There are tons of varieties that have no basis in anything close to their roots. Just a thought.
I don't know about racism.
Yeah, that's unless you're maybe, because I don't think, I mean, obviously there's racism against Italians, but not to the degree that there are against some other countries, including Latinos and tacos. So
Sure.
Are you suggesting that it's selective racism against Italians?
Well, by saying we're putting pineapple on pizza, we're going to get that's how we'll get those dirty Italians. I don't think that's how it works. I think what it is people go, hey, what if we put pineapple on there? That might be all right.
Yeah.
Ooh, I kind of like it. Let's do it. And then it gets tweaked and reformed and whatever. You take traditional foods from other places and you put them in other cultures, and those cultures have their way with it. You know, I ate a Korean burrito the other day.
Right. Yeah, there's a
bulgogi
place-
burrito, so good. It's
place
fusion.
over here called the Asian Cajun, and it is a mix of those two kinds of food.
Yeah,
It's
this
the
is that whole
Cajun.
fusion thing, right? So
Yeah.
I don't think, I mean, unless you have some specific examples, Tech Drum Rock and Roll, I don't know where the actual racism would be. Now, that isn't to say that cuisine and racial issues can't come up, or in the case of Italians, regional issues, because they're not really a race, but these things can happen, I'm sure.
Right.
But the creation of the fortune cookie, it happened here in the States.
Mm-hmm.
It was Japanese people,
Right.
which is also weird because mostly you get these fortune cookies in Chinese food.
Right.
So
And
that's all
Japanese
complicated,
food,
but
yeah.
I don't think any
Yeah.
of them were going, you damn Japanese, are you stupid? I don't think that was it. I think it was just,
Right.
this is just the way stuff evolves and changes.
My thinking is that the Hawaiian or the pineapple on pizza became so controversial because it's so good.
Gross.
that
'Cause it's so gross.
See, exactly. There we go. Because of that, because of the people who like it really like it,
Yeah.
and the people who don't like it really don't like it.
Yep.
As opposed to a bulgogi taco or a ground beef sushi. I don't know. That's a really bad example because I don't think anybody would want that. But
I'd try it. I'd give it a
I
shot.
would try it too. But there's none of those things have received the level of popularity on the side that likes it versus the side that doesn't to make it controversial. I think it's just more that it's really well liked by the people who like it and really hated by the people who don't like it, as opposed to tacos or sushi having variety.
It's a point of our argument, and that's it.
Yeah.
I think that's simply it.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to go ahead and plant my flag once again and say, pineapple on pizza is disgusting. That's again coming. Brian likes it.
Take your slices, send them my way. I'll
That's
have
right.
your share.
Even my brother, like this Angry Korean place, they have really good traditional ingredients, but they do it in these fusion ways. And my brother Matt, who is kind of a purist on Korean food and is from Korea, I said, hey Matt, I got that bulgogi burrito over at the Angry Korean. He goes, oh, they don't have anything over there that's real Korean. Bah, bah. Like he was getting all grinchy about it, and I'm like, all right, well, whatever. Eat what you want to eat is the bottom line.
Yeah.
All right. If you want to put
exactly.
put fruit on your freaking pizza, you go right ahead, Brian. Do it.
Was Greek, so like one of the places near us makes what guy was it, Goombas, makes this incredible Greek pizza with feta and the shaved lamb beef meat and pepperoncinis and stuff like that. It is absolutely amazing. Now, Greece being so much closer to Italy than America is, did Greek, like, was there Greek adoption of the pizza, the flatbread experience before it made its way over to the States?
I have no idea. Yeah.
Is there more of a reason that Greek pizza feels more allowed?
Yeah. Yeah. Why is that?
Yeah.
That's a weird thing. We have any Greeks? I bet we do. We have a Greek listener or two.
Oh yeah, I'm sure we do.
When you said Goombas, I just thought of this guy here.
I know. Yeah.
He's a little Goomba, little Mario
Smash
Goomba.
'em. Let's smash 'em.
They're bastards. I don't like a Goomba, and I don't mean the Italian.
Why do they look like little short penises?
Because I think they're pulling our leg over there. I think it was always a penis. That's what I think.
Okay.
I think Shigeru Miyamoto sitting around going, "How can I put a penis in here?" And we don't just mean Bowser. All right. Hey, everybody. Let's get straight to some news. We got some news to cover. Not much because we don't have a ton of time. We got Wendy coming up, but we're going to get some of it in, so enjoy. It's time for the news brought to you by...
Brought to you by Girl, You Have No Faith in Medicine. Well, you need to listen to The Medical Show, a weekly look at modern medicine and your role in your own health. Straight poop from Dr. Tolbert and Scott. Episode 3 is out now in the first 6-episode season, and get it all at themedical.show.
Yep, go check it out. We had a great discussion yesterday about the changes that this bill introduced that got passed.
Oh, good. The big beautiful bill.
The big, beautiful bill. It's beautiful.
Piece of shit.
Yeah, there's some garbage in there, and specifically stuff that is will affect a whole lot of people when it comes to insurance and availability of medical care for elderly, the poor, all that sort of thing. So we break some of that down, but we also talk about the new schedule for or what they call it the schedule, but they basically recommendations for this year when it comes to vaccines for kids, adults, everything else. Break it all down so it's understandable. And you're not just having to rely on some shitty headlines to try to understand what's going on in the world. All right, let's get to this first story.
Very cool. Yeah, I got to listen to that.
People with swamp crotch keep getting setting off TSA alarms. This is a thing.
I mean, this is setting off a lot of alarms, really. Swamp crotch.
Every alarm I have is being rung right now.
Yeah, yeah.
People with swamp crotch, they call it, are setting off these alarms. A woman flying for the first time in 15 years. She may not have showered in 15 years. Recently shared that both airports she passed through flagged her groin area during the screening scan or security scan. She has no piercings, no medical devices, no pockets. Well, her pockets were empty.
She has one pocket.
She had one pocket. The only possible culprit, her sweaty crotch, says the article.
Jeez.
She posted about the experience on Reddit, quickly found out she wasn't alone. Other travelers chimed in with similar stories, pointing out that one security officer allegedly called swamp crotch. The term might sound ridiculous, but it lines up with how the scanners work. So here's the deal. TSA's millimeter wave technology, that's what it's called, doesn't just detect metal. It also detects country and bluegrass and just
jazz.
It responds to anything that disrupts the signal. That includes moisture. I hate that term.
Yeah.
Moisture.
Yep.
I really don't like it.
I'll take moisture over just the word moist.
Growing up, hey, fellow Utahns, a bunch of you are going to relate to this. Growing up, you hear a lot of adults go, "We're so grateful for this moisture we're having." I hate that term. It makes me want to burn things. Good thing there's moisture to put the fire out, because I want to burn stuff when I hear moisture.
I mean, they'll say, the weather guy will say, well, there's a lot of moisture in the air today. You're probably going to see some rainstorms in the afternoons, blah, blah, blah. I'll take the word moisture 100 times before I hear the word moist.
That's true.
Like
Give me the tour over the...
I don't want moist on pizza, okay?
No.
Keep your moist off my pizza.
No. A moist pizza will set off an alarm at the TSA.
Yeah.
It says here, TSA expert Shauna Malvini-Redden, that's a cool name, told Reader's Digest, I'm sorry, what? Reader's Digest?
It's still a thing. Excellent.
Holy
good
shit.
for you guys still doing it.
I mean, my mom used to have stacks of these by her toilet. She loved those things.
They're the perfect toilet read because, you can get through funny, oh God, what, like there was the whole one about military. It was like military little anecdotes about funny things that happen to people in the military.
Right.
Life in These Times or something like that. I can't remember what the segments were, but or the sections, but
they would sometimes have like a like a little short sci-fi story from some up and coming author.
It would be an abridged version of like either something written specifically for Reader's Digest or Humor in Uniform. Thank you, Dr. Calhoun. That's the one I was trying to remember. But sometimes they'd have like is
that like a whole section in there, like the uniform?
Yes, thing? Humor in Uniform. It was like one page of funny military anecdotes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, it'd be like, this grenade fell in my pants, and before you knew it, and like that kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. This guy in the mess hall, let me tell you.
They never started with, I used to think these stories were fake.
I never thought I'd be writing into Humor in Uniform. Never thought it would happen to me.
Anyway, ask your parents, everybody.
Yeah.
So anyway, it says here the only thing. So it's not the only thing that can set these things off. So apparently, a lot of kind of build up moisture, whatever business, can be a problem. But it's not just that. It says that feminine products, snug clothing, even body shape can trick the scanner. Geez, why doesn't mine set it off every 5 seconds? It says it is supposed to accommodate a range of body types, but the reality is some people, especially those with fuller figures, get flagged more often. Now, I do have a friend who's a fairly large dude, big old dude, just the way he's always been, just a big guy. He went through TSA once, and it went off, and it was because he was a big dude. That was his whole thing. And they said, and they says to him, they say, "Hey, you're just a big fella. Sorry about that." And he's like, "Thanks, thanks for rubbing it in." Anyway, it's a fun story.
It's like you don't need that kind of humiliation and stuff, right?
Yeah, I don't. They don't. Nobody should.
Yeah.
Although you don't have to take your shoes off anymore. Did you hear about that? That's the thing.
Yes. As of yesterday or day before it, yeah.
I feel like that also messed with the quick line, because that was part of the advantage of the quick line. So we get another benefit to swap in for the quick line, or is it just now
is
nobody
it called quick line there? Like
whatever it is, the
TSA
priority pre-check, whatever it is, the priority thing you pay $80 a year for.
Yeah.
It used to be one of the
$80 for 5 years.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
I never did it.
It's cheap.
That is cheap.
And it gets you through some other things. Like you get other lines, shorter lines, and that sort of thing. But I mean, the not taking your shoes off was a nice benefit.
Yeah. And now, despite the lawsuit that has been filed by Quentin Tarantino, it is now no longer required when you go to the TSA. I'm looking forward to my first flight where I don't have to take off my shoes. I'm stoked, because that also means I don't have to bring open toe. I don't want to wear.
You can wear
comfy
sandals.
I wear whatever I want to wear. I wear real shoes for once. Because usually they're slip-ons, because I don't want to be bothered with all the tying the laces and stuff.
Exactly.
Now I can just go in there with some freaking combat boots on, man.
Yeah.
I don't have a pair. I don't own those. Snake. Speaking of planes, Snakes on a Plane was a movie.
It was a movie.
It was very memey, you know.
Probably. I think the memes around it were better than the movie itself.
I think they were counting on the memes propelling the movie to better success than it got. It did not actually succeed in the theater, even though the internet thought it did. Yeah. Well, a snake on a plane delayed a flight to Australia, or in Australia.
Oh.
An Australian domestic flight was delayed for 2 hours after a stowaway snake was found in the plane's cargo hold. I think we have a video of this. Not video.
Oh, really?
Photo, sorry.
Okay.
Let's pull it up and take a look here. It's an AP article. There it is. Not much of a snake.
Oh my gosh, he's a little tiny. He's a little tiny fella.
Yeah, for an Australian story, I was hoping for a big old fat python with
It's not a snake. I'll show you a snake.
Yeah, I want like Lucky Phil's leg hanging out of that thing. That's nothing.
No.
There are spiders there on that plane that could eat it. It's no big deal.
They're Australians. That shouldn't have affected the flight whatsoever. It's like, we got another snake on board. Excellent. Everybody say hi to Wrigley.
Yeah.
Hello, Wrigley.
Hello, Wrigley. You know what I really don't like about it is I don't like the way the cargo area looks. It gives me the willies, and I can't explain. I don't know why that is. Something about the just a dirty, banged up hull.
All the scuff marks on the side from people's bags all constantly banging against it.
I get a real claustrophobic vibe out of that shot. I don't like it. No, sir, I don't. Well, anyway, that was the thing.
People are upset about the RFK picture on the side of your on the side of that.
Oh, well, let me tell you what I have no control over is what the AP puts over there. I don't know. It's not me. What's the article? I don't even know.
We got to keep the snakes out of the cargo holds.
I'm going to go gargle some toilet water.
Will that fit in my brain?
RFK Jr. promoted a food company he says will make America healthy. Their meals are ultra processed. Well, okay.
Ultra processed.
Wait, are you saying Raisin Man's full of shit? I can't believe it.
Yeah. He is trying to get food dyes out of our food, and the candy companies are like, people don't want a bunch of white Skittles.
No, they don't. Also, it'd be nice if he actually had some proof that the dyes are a problem. That's the problem. Is he doesn't.
Exactly. They make you sterile. Cheryl?
Sure, sterile Cheryl, I call her. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back from said break, we'll talk to Wendy. We got an email. We got some stuff. And she is back in her homeland of Minnesota. I guess technically it's her homeland here, but She went there.
Right.
Anyway, we'll check in with her, see what this thing's about. Before that, though, a song, Brian. You have a little selection?
Yeah, if you are a fan of the Traveling Band, a band called the Traveling Band, TTB, as people in the know call them, Joe Dutteridge, who is a member of that band, has got his first solo album as the band named Later Youth. So you got to look for it under Later Youth, not as Joe Dutteridge. He's got his brand new debut solo album. It's called Living History, and it's really, really good. It is some straightforward, fun power pop. This is the first single from the album. It's called Make It Right. Here is Later Youth.
Wonder how many vampires have been run over by people that just use their mirrors to back up their cars.
You're my best friend forever.
And we're back. Who is that one more time?
Sure. That is Joe Dutteridge, better known in this context as Later Youth. A brand new album called Living History just came out last week. Make it big, everybody. Go listen to it. Support it. Stream it. It's excellent. It's really, really good.
Nice.
That's the song Make It Right.
What are you listening to right now that you would that is like your go-to at the moment? Do you have anything where you're sort of like doing certain playlists or?
I mean, I've been gravitating back to First Aid Kit a lot because I like it.
Yeah.
I've been listening to it's something I played earlier this week. Let me jump back to my homepage, home in Apple Music, because it shows me what I've been listening to a lot lately.
Yeah.
Electric Avenue, the Moon Runner 83.
Oh yeah.
That Glycerin.
Really? Oh my gosh,
from.
that's good.
That whole album is really, really good. It's really trippy 80s. Genuine 80s sound. Doesn't feel like somebody just trying to sound like the 80s.
Yeah.
So that thing is really good. Let's see, what else have I been listening to? That was for the show. It's kind of it. Like everything else has just been me putting in stuff for
doing work for the shows.
show.
Yeah. I just have not been able to get enough of classic 70s rock right now, and I don't know.
Oh, really?
I don't know
Cool.
what that's about. I think it's just this nostalgic take me back
yeah,
to my
you were
kids.
listening to Fleetwood Mac when we talked the other day.
Yeah, I crank it when I'm in the shower.
Yeah.
These
Well, here you go again. You
Yeah.
say you want your freedom.
Exactly. This is all correct. Hey, we have on the line with us my sister, who was just here, but is now not here. She is back home. Wendy, what's going on? How are you?
How do I sound?
You sound fine. How are you doing?
Hey, I'm just happy every time at work.
Are you on your phone or your computer, or where are you?
My computer.
Oh, I think you're okay. What mic are you on? Tap the thing that you think is your mic. Yeah, I think that's your mic.
Yeah, that sounds like a mic to me.
Yeah, it sounds like it sounds like you.
Okay.
Good to have you here. How was the trip home and everything since? Everything good?
Good. My elbow is so weird. Thank you, Dr. Colbert, for your concern. And it's still a little ways to go, but good. I mean, who wants to get injured, ill on a trip? Nobody.
Nobody wants that.
Nobody wants that. Yeah. Did we talk about this on the show? Wendy got like a weird. We did talk about it.
Yeah.
Oh,
we did.
yes. Yeah.
She got this
Elbow.
crazy infection. When I saw her elbow was
Right,
like
the elbow.
It was like a big old tennis ball on the side of her thing. And it got better the very next day I saw it. So obviously the antibiotics were working. But no matter how clean your hot tub looks, perhaps avoid stuff.
Right, that hot tub might have something in it that's going to kill you.
Yeah.
Tune in at 11 to find out what it is.
Yeah.
Get
that's right.
this. So yesterday I was with a friend who's a dermatologist, and I just had him look at it, and he goes, I think it's actually bursitis. I think you hit your elbow on the hike, and it sprung a leak because the way it's formed at the end, now it's just one ball at the end, and that the antibiotics were just creating anti-inflammation. So I got multiple opinions going at this point, and I'm just glad I'm not in a hospital on like liquid antibiotics.
No kidding.
geez.
Except
Yeah.
you'd still be here and we could hang out and stuff still.
That's true.
Because that was fun. We had a great time.
We did. It was super fun.
I don't know how you played pickleball without that elbow hurting more.
Yeah, I'm right-handed, so it was fine.
Oh, that's true. It's your left. Yeah. You know what? I say that about life. I'm right-handed, so it's fine. I say that a lot.
It's
That's
fine. I don't
fine.
mind if something happens to my right hand. That's
My
totally
left
fine.
elbow, who cares?
Yeah, who cares
Yeah.
about your left one? Screw that thing. Well, anyway, it's good to have you here. Hey, do me a favor and like flick your cable. I think something's got power on it or
Yeah,
something.
it's like
now it's moving. Oh,
There we go.
is that better? Yep, that's further.
It's better.
Yeah, you got something close to a power supply or something. I don't know what it is.
Are
yeah.
you talking to me?
Yeah.
Yeah,
to
we're
you.
talking to you.
I thought you were talking to each other.
I
I
don't
was
see
like,
anybody else here, so you must be
I haven't
talking to
done
me.
anything, so I don't know what you're talking
No,
about.
I just
really?
sat here.
Oh, is it a wireless? Well, I know that, but is it a wireless headset thing you're wearing, or is it like a plugged-in thing?
Let's
Move your.
put on.
Oh.
There you go. That's better.
Okay, I put it on full repair. So
Oh,
apparently
good.
something is
Please
being repaired.
keep it on full repair then.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll leave it right freaking there.
Sorry, guys.
Nailed it. No, you're good. It's all good. This is why we have the technology. Damn it! I dropped my thing. Hold on. Okay.
Oh no!
All right, we're good. Hey, let's get to it. We got an email here. Wendy dug up, and we're going to go ahead and read it. This is, let's see, Dear Scott and Brian. It starts. How'd you get this one? If it came, I guess you can still get emails
They
with
can
our
put
names.
whatever they want in the deer part.
That's true. But everybody can put whatever they want. You're right. You're
Yeah,
absolutely right.
I just texted, I copied and texted it to you. I did not know what you're talking about.
Well, the top says Dear Scott and Brian, not Dear Wendy. So that's the part I'm trying to figure out.
Oh, yeah. Well, I get those too. You know?
Yeah, that's true. Anyway, it says, I'd like to submit a little tale for Therapy Thursday, otherwise known as How I Tried to Fix My Life with a Book and Ended Up Apologizing to a Chair. All right, that's pretty interesting way to
We got
start
a
it.
writer on our hands. This is a
I'm
good one.
already fascinated by that.
Yeah, kind of don't need much more. But anyway, let's go on. He says, so here's what happened. I bought one of those radical self-love meets executive functioning books. You probably know what that is, Wendy. I have no idea what that means.
I do, yeah.
Because I thought it was time to get my life together. Spoiler, I was not, or it was not. The book told me to speak kindly to myself all day out loud, so I did for a week, like a deranged yoga instructor trapped in a Target. I don't know why it's a Target.
This
but-
person's working on a tight five.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it a lot. Anyway, it says, then it escalated. I started arguing with my inner critic in the car, praising myself for making sandwiches, and once I said, you're doing great, to my own reflection in a tinted car window, which turned out not to be a window, it turned out to have a live human behind it at a red light, just staring. Honestly, you should write books. This is real good.
Yeah.
I was spiraling. By day 10, I had fully gaslit myself. Any bad mood? You're not really sad. You just haven't had enough electrolytes. Any failure? This is just a growth opportunity. I was in a toxic positivity spiral of my own creation. Eventually, I cracked. I had a good ugly cry in my laundry room, the best acoustics, and scheduled... This guy's cracking me up. And scheduled a real therapy session where my therapist asked very gently, quote, have you been talking to inanimate objects again, unquote. Anyway, I'm fine now, mostly, but I think the chair still wants an apology. Thanks for being the best background noise I could ever ask for while spiral cleaning my kitchen. Your fan in the land of 10,000 emotions, J. P.S. Tell Brian I tried that powdered peanut butter he likes. It tastes like chalk made a wish to be food. I disagree. That stuff's good. Brian's right.
I disagree that I like it.
I think it's
I
good.
don't know where Jake got the impression that I like that stuff, but I've got some, and Hammond sent me a bunch, and I'll use it. I actually use it more in other things. Like, so I'll have Greek yogurt. I'll do a little bit of powdered peanut butter in there to give it some fun flavor. But as far as like saying, oh, I'm making a PB&J sandwich, let me start with the peanut butter powder. No, I don't do that.
Yeah, and
Ew.
I don't know.
Do you even do that? You just get it wet?
I think so.
Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do. That's how you do the powdered peanut butter.
It's like rehydrated. Yeah,
you're supposed to rehydrate
just
it.
for like in your.
No,
it feels very MRE. You know, it's like army food or something. But I've had it and I like it. I think it's all right. But I may be the weird one. Anyway, Wendy, we're talking about a little bit of self gaslighting going on here.
Yeah. Well, self-help stuff a little bit, right? Like,
feels like it's still a good thing to do. Like you know, pumping yourself up with positivity is so much better than the alternative.
Yeah, but then the worry is you go so far with it, you end up being that dog with the coffee in the burning room meme saying this is fine.
All right.
Yeah.
Or this is fine.
Yeah, and I think that's maybe the worry here is that he you know, if the house is burning, you can't go, I'm okay, everything's fine.
Too many things are slathered over with fake peanut butter. You don't see the cracks underneath them.
There you go.
Basically.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, okay, the sentiment is common, right? Which is like, I got to get my life together. So I'm going to try a new thing or do a thing I've heard about, or, the algorithm 100% is tracking you and knows you're not doing well. So then provides advertising to you that's going to fix all your problems. Right. So, I mean, this is normal. It's normal to have different times of our lives be difficult and different. Right. I mean, we're all walking around as that dog with the coffee muck with the fire behind us. That is absolutely happening, at least in this country at this moment. Right.
Sure.
And so what you are doing or what you need is hard to know. We are not awesome at self-awareness. Some people are more self-aware than others. Some people really wish they could turn down their self-awareness. Other people have zero. We've all met them, So our ability to really see what is going on for us or what we need can be hard, especially if you were sort of trained that was a selfish thing to do, or recently having some conversations with someone who could really use some therapy and had a really difficult childhood. And, the thing we talked about was, but therapists are going to therapy are for anyone but me and my family, because that was the message, so we could joke about it, but to actually get over that hump and have somebody else enter your world. And think how handy that is if you grew up in a dysfunctional family, to be like, you know what? The few people who could ever help us are devils. So you just restrict that as a concept. And now here's this person in their mid-30s going, I can't get help because it's so deeply ingrained in me. That's not the place to get help, right? So I'm not saying everyone turns to self-help books when that's the case, but often the most accessible kind of help when I don't feel like my life is good is to go to the self-help aisle. I just want to make one obnoxious comment about self-help books written for men are called business books. So just FYI, self-help is usually targeted to women, and then we just don't call men's self-help books what they are.
Is that true? I guess I've never really looked at the aisle at Barnes & Noble or whatever, but is that how it's weighted? Like if
I don't know. Have you read any business books?
I've never.
They're not self-help.
What? Good question.
I haven't read any since the 90s when it was, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And
you tell me that's not self-help.
Yeah.
Oh, totally. 100% is.
It's just sexism, guys. I'm telling you about misogyny. Let me explain to you.
And that's some sweet homegrown Utah misogyny in that 7 Habits.
Oh, heck yeah, it is.
Yeah, that was
Habits.
Local boy. Yeah.
Yeah.
And James Comey, is that right?
James
Covey, that's right.
Covey?
Comey's a different guy.
Yeah, different guy.
James Comey is not. He was the former whatever with
HBI
from the first
guy.
administration.
Director.
Yeah. That's a fun reference. Let's not go there. Okay. Stephen Covey is who you're looking for, and
there it is.
Yeah, he's a local guy. But the idea is that you need help, and how do I get help? Well, the ones marketed typically to women are in the self-help aisle, and then the business books are just cover for self-help. Is all I'm saying. I'm not saying there aren't good business books. I'm just saying how to be effective and have good relationships is hidden in their business books. Because there's like, I don't need help problem, right? So when you feel like things are really falling apart, it's like, what do you do? So a self-help book, in this case, what did they call it? Oh, I mean, it was a joke, but how did I try to fix my life with a book? What did they say? Radical self-love meets executive functioning.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And that's kind of tongue-in-cheek of like, imagine actually people love themselves.
Yeah.
And it would be radical. It would change a lot of things, right? So tongue-in-cheek would be awesome if we were all doing it. Harder to get there just by saying out loud all the things that you're doing well, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Brian, you mentioned this, and it's true. There is evidence that how we say things to ourselves, and obviously how we even say things out loud matter. And so whatever this book actually was probably referencing this idea that you need to change the way you talk and the way you interact in the world, right? We have a negativity bias. This is a human survival instinct to see something bad coming, predict something bad. You get 100 compliments, 1 insult, you're going to remember the insult. Our brain will actually, it's sticky.
Why do we do that, by the way?
It saves us.
Why I understand the idea that there's a lot of things about our behavior that has to do with our survival, but why that? Why the negativity thing? Is it just a way to say, well, because it's all bad, or I only remember the bad one, to be safe from that, I have to hyper focus on that so I don't experience it again.
Yeah, I think that's it. Exactly. Your brain is basically saying, "Ooh, I need protection." You don't need protection from when somebody compliments you. You need protection when somebody insults you. So
100%. And protection from what? What do you guys think you're actually needing protection from?
Oh my gosh.
Hurt feelings.
Yeah. Probably that, but also I mean,
Did you just sing the Hot Pockets?
No. I was singing the Flight of the Conchords, so I have a hurt feeling.
Okay, good.
Either one works. Either one is great.
Hurt feelings.
I'm trying to think. Like it's like a lot of things. There's just like primal survival stuff that, in a modern context, is almost like the appendix. We don't really need it, but we think we do because we're evolutionarily that way. So instead of saber-tooths breathing down our neck, we get panicked because someplace is dark and maybe there's a saber-tooth there, and our ancient mind still feels that way, even though the risk of a saber-tooth being in there is really low. And then we apply it to things that are also low, like, oh, what if there's a serial killer in the basement and he could be down there? You never know. Like, I think it's all just in service of, I need to breathe another day, you know?
Yeah. So that is probably like the global function.
Yeah.
But when we narrow it down, which is also still survival response, is that you need your tribe to live. You can't get food enough alone. You can't create shelter enough alone. I even take that into modern context. We need other people to thrive. And so the thing this is actually protecting you from is rejection from the group.
Right.
Because rejection from the group meant death and banishment, abandonment. Any of those words work. And so what we have often in somebody's childhood is, this is why therapy's like different from, say, life coaching or a self-help book, is they might be able to ask some, like a health self-help book would ask questions maybe to be curious about your younger life. But therapists and psychotherapy in particular, is the training is to go help find out where these wounds took place and how to heal from them, because they set up a pattern of responses and reactivity from that moment onwards. So you hear you have a weird face in third grade, and that is like a permanent inscribed in your brain. When anyone's looking at you, well, they must think I have a weird face. Like it's like an imprint on a blank page. Okay. And it meant, I may not be loved or wanted or needed or part of things, or, it has that flavor to it. Even it may just be a one-off. And maybe it was a kid who has issues with his own face and was trying to project on you or hurt you. We don't know, right? But the stickiness has this motive. The motive is, if I remember the negative, I can avoid that trap in the future. I can manage, because I know the threat, I can then adjust. Versus a compliment, like Brian's saying, just meant you're one of us and we're happy you're here. So there is no threat there. So our brains don't need to remember that.
Yeah.
If you only get negative and then somebody gives you a compliment, you'll remember that, right? It will hang on to a positive thing if it's scarce, because it needs so desperately. So it does the opposite with, a limited amount of positive. That will mean a lot.
Yeah.
So when you meet people who are like, you are the first person who said this to me, or your kindness to me meant so much, that's really telling about how much maybe social precariousness they have been living in, and group precariousness.
Yeah, that's why when you read, like, I don't know, you do some post in some social place and it sort of takes off and you get a ton of comments, and most of them are positive. It's like, oh yeah, there's congratulations or whatever it is, Facebook post. And then you get one guy out of like 1,000 pops in and goes, your face looks like a potato or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Thumb.
Yeah,
Your face looks like a thumb.
It stays with you. It sticks with you in a way that doesn't make sense, because the 1,000 other people should be the ones that you go, but 1,000 of you love this. One of you thinks I look like a potato. Why is he so stuck in my cheese? Yeah. I've never understood that. So this is good for me too, because this happens a lot on the internet. The internet is all about tribes and these reactions and our stupid preservation and all that stuff. It's all
and none of it's actually real, in the sense of, like, no one living a continent away will be able to not let you get the food at the store, right? Like, our biological safety is not at play, but our brains are, this ancient brain It will not know the difference. It cannot know the difference. I don't know. Maybe in another couple thousand years, it will know the difference. Maybe it doesn't take that long. I don't know. But we have this just large scale experiment where we are taking the fragility of survival egos, because our egos are responding to that, right? To survival, to can we make it? And why do we feel so good when we're accepted and loved? And then why do we feel so bad when we're rejected? Well, it's because of this, right? And then we just play it out on a global scale hidden behind screens is pretty nuts. And I think it's harmed a lot of people. I often think about like famous people or whatever, just don't read anything as a strategy, because can you imagine every day actually reading what is being said about you would be just agonizing. I don't know how anyone has actually ever done it. If they have, I think to survive or have mental health intact, they must stop or something. Anyway, so it sounds like this person is like, I'm gonna figure my stuff out, and I'm gonna do it by saying positive things out loud all the time. So it's just very funny. Writer, obviously, saying you're doing great to a random person in a car is hilarious. Yeah. But notice, and this is the thing I think is fascinating about this email, is like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it all day. I'm going to congratulate myself. I'm going to be proud of myself. It's like a counteraction to maybe an inner voice that's a critic that's saying you're doing a terrible job.
You just got to be louder. You got to talk to yourself louder than the critic. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And then finding themselves feeling totally gaslit by themselves of like, I just need more electrolytes. I'm not sad, and that it's that positive, toxic positivity, it doesn't work, which we'll talk about in just one second. But I do love the actual answer was not necessarily doing a formula that maybe works for someone. Great. I bet someone else could read this book, do these things, talk out loud to the stuff, and feel the difference, and it works for them. Awesome. I hope that's true. But there are definitely many people that does not work for, because it doesn't address any of the reasons they need to talk that way to themselves. It doesn't address why there is a critic in their head screaming at them that they're bad, right? And so that's what self-help can't do. So if it works for you, kudos. Happy that exists for somebody. But for others, it maybe has to go deeper. So I love that the actual thing that made them feel better was to cry in the laundry room.
Yeah.
Yeah, the acoustics.
Yeah, I was actually gonna ask you, of this entire email, what do you think is the most healthy? Obviously, a lot of it's tongue in cheek, but what's the most healthy thing here? And I was guessing you'd say the having a good cry in the laundry room.
Yeah, and there's a reason. Because the acoustics are satisfying. They're not wrong, even though they're just being funny, right? They're not wrong about getting a feel good need met, and a good cry is one of those things, right? For most people, a good cry makes everything feel better. And usually you're holding it in for so long that it's a really big cry, right? Or like that is our body's way of releasing stress and tension that it's been building and holding, right? That's one of its few things. Sleeping really deeply is another one. Another one is screaming. Another one is, these rage rooms. Go do one of those. Being in water, being in nature. Like we have a lot of versions of where our body will lead us to, like its needs getting met will actually lead us to our emotions. Oh, do you hear the dog?
Yeah.
Good dog. Good.
Forgot its name.
Wakes up
Jason.
from a nap.
What's the name of the dog?
Oh, that's how it wakes up. Like, huh?
Yeah. I mean, surely someone's at the door or something. But no, his name's Tommy.
Tommy. Why do I always think it's Jason for a dog?
Jason's hilarious.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's a great name for a dog. Jason.
Jason, get over here. Anyway, so that idea though of like meeting your need. So, okay, so we have a need we've got some internal dialogue that is really negative and needs some addressing.
Yeah.
And so it sounds like this person already has a therapist. I would be like, yo, it's time to talk about this. Like, let's work on where is the source of this inner critic. Okay, so really quick, I had a client the other day who is on the spectrum and has some other neurodivergence. And we were talking about her inner voices. And she's got an echo voice that like, she'll be like, oh, I'm hungry, maybe a sandwich. And then the voice immediately is like, Jimmy John's. I bet there's a subway nearby. Like it just is like a Google on fire in her head. And it means she can't maintain conversations very well because she has this voice jumping in with lots of ideas.
Yeah.
And it's not mean. It's just like an obnoxious AI response or something, right? And so we're talking about how to navigate that. And so, and her boyfriend is a lovely human being who has no voices at all in his head. And so he's very patient, but he literally, we joke that he's Emmett from the Lego movie. It's just prodigiously empty in there, right? And so this might be helpful for people to hear. Everyone has a very different experience with this, and you might have a good friend. So ask the people in your life, what did they hear in their head? And you might, bite off more than you can chew here. But some people just really don't. There's not a lot of things happening. And then I had a client after that who talked about how hers is not thoughts. It's like if she has to try to create something in there, it's like words. She might see words. She's not going to hear any voice or hear a conversation, right?
Yeah.
So everyone's really different. So you should find out with the people in your life, especially the really, really happy ones. They probably don't have many voices in there. All the way to, we get all the way to the far end of that spectrum, and those voices are so loud they're taking over, and we would call that schizophrenia, or we would call a multiple personality disorder is where one of those voices sort of takes over, right? That's rare. Schizophrenia is slightly less rare, but we're all on the same brain spectrum in various forms. So this person clearly has a very negative one. And that would be the first thing I'd say, go to your therapist and talk about, can we get to know this voice, understand it, see if we can quiet it, see if we can
instead of trying to scream louder than it, out yell it, then figure out how to quiet it.
Right. And the crying in the laundry room really reminds me of just the strain of trying to fix yourself alone, right? We're not meant to do that. We're meant to be witnessed, right? We're meant to be in healthy, good company. And sometimes people will describe like, I'm the first one getting healthy in my family system and I'm so alone. And that's hard because no one else understands what you're even talking about or what you're going through. I think about people who are generationally breaking the chain of abuse or trauma, or, they're going to feel very alone as they're doing that because the people around them maybe aren't in that same category. So you can find your people. The internet's good and bad, right? You can find your people online. You can find other sources of folks who have done the work you're trying to do, so you don't feel as alone, because we need each other. So talk to your therapist. Don't maybe go talking to car windows and
car windows that aren't car windows.
Right?
Yeah. This is we've talked about the voices, your inner critic or your inner guide or whatever before. Just the place that it's most prevalent for me that I wish I could get it to shut up is at 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning when I wake up and it's saying, you probably should get this project you've been thinking about doing. You should probably get started on that. Like that's the time that it takes over and it's got the most.
Your taskmaster.
Yeah, and it comes really flooding in too. It's like suddenly at 3 o'clock I'll wake up. It's like I just have to pee like a normal person.
Right.
But my brain's going, no, what about 400 other things to think about?
Right, exactly. I know this is on your to-do list already, but let me remind you what needs to get done today. It's like, no, I'll deal with that when I sit down at my desk. Thank you very much, because I use the Know Better You time management system and I prepared my to-do list the day before.
That's right.
Yes. And maybe what you need to do in the middle of the night is use the sleep
whiskey.
The sleep technique of giving it a confusing story, right?
Oh,
because your brain wakes up to this already formed thought. It feels so real, and like I have no choice but to follow this. It's like turn off that channel and turn it to the white static channel.
It's like when
the channel makes sense and keeps your brain awake.
Right.
Yeah, it's like when you had us do the thing where you wake up, you come up with a word, and then you come up with words for each of the letters that begin with each of the letters in that word. Yeah.
Just give your brain nonsense, because it's
basically give busy work.
Give it busy work
on this for a while.
Yeah. Okay. And there's a new one. I haven't told anyone this yet, and I have tested it enough times, and I'm not kidding. It
TMS exclusive.
Knocks you out.
Oh yeah.
So I'm worried you guys are going to fall asleep right now when I do it. But okay, this is so weird, And I don't even know who I saw do it. And then I tried to follow up on some research on it to see if it was legit, and I couldn't find any. So I don't know if this is actually legit, but I mean, eye movement is a big thing because it's part of how our brains process, right? So
Sure.
I think I've told you, I know my kid's lying because he looks up and to the left every time. Or when someone's recalling a story, they look down to the right or whatever. So
You hope he never figures out that you know that, by the way.
He's so obvious. He knows. He's stopped lying because I
Play poker with that kid.
It's a dead giveaway. Okay, so it's eye movement. And so what you're going to do is, so you wake up and you've got the, Brian, shouldn't you be doing your paperwork or whatever?
Right.
And you can just be like, yo, friend, what's up? I'm going to do a cool trick now. And what you do is so your eyes would be closed, right? So don't open them for them, but you're going to do it. I don't know. You guys on camera, but you could show everybody.
Yeah, we are on
So
camera.
first, I want you to just follow my instructions. So keep your eyes open.
Okay.
But people, you would do this with your eye closed. Okay. So you look straight up. Now you look down.
Are we moving our heads or just our eyes?
No, sorry, just your eyeballs.
Okay.
Just
So your
eyes.
eyeballs go up, and then your eyeballs go down. Now your eyeballs go to the right, and then rotate them like a sun, like a half moon to the left.
Like I'm rolling
And
them?
then, like you're doing they're going up to the left, and now you're going down to the right. So you're making a circle
Yeah.
in that direction, and now reverse it and go down to the left, and then over to the right. So it's up, down, right, left, basically. and you're kind of,
A-B.
yeah. Up, down, A, B,
Yeah.
B, A.
It's a Konami code.
Yeah.
I love it.
Okay. So when you do this, you go up, down, A, B, B, A. Okay.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be totally round. You can just go back and forth. I find the round really helps.
Yeah.
Anyway, you do this, and I'm telling you, the first time you will do this, you'll be asleep. You'll be in your bed, right? Your eyes are closed. You will feel almost like your blood pressure drop. You'll just go, ugh, and it will like put you in a different physical state almost immediately.
Really?
And you do it again.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm going to do it right now so I remember. It's up, down, right, left.
It's going to make some.
Yeah, you got to do the rounding. I forgot.
Yeah, the
you really
round
do have to do
helps.
that.
Yeah.
So you go right around to the left.
Like a record, baby.
Yeah. So maybe it's the circle and then do the other side. Anyway, whatever. You're moving up and down and then around a couple times. You do it the second time and then you don't even know what's happening till the sun comes up.
Is it because are you telling your eyes to be like REM movement kind of stuff, or
Yeah.
what?
Yeah, I think is what it is. And I didn't spend enough time to try to find it, but I am telling you, I've done it probably 10 times and it knocks me out like I've never experienced.
Give it a shot.
It's super weird. But I always have to do it twice. And I've done it 3 times, I think once, but the very initial drop, it really feels like your body's like, oh shoot, we're supposed to be in REM. All right, drop the blood pressure, drop the heart rate, like everybody, go, go, go. It's really weird. Anyway, so that's another thing you should do when your brain wakes you up to try to tell you a story. Again, it's protectionism, right? It's like, hey, well, if you get this project done. But Brian, you're like, hey, yo, I have a list for tomorrow. I'm good. And also watch what I can do with my eyes. And you
transform
and
into Optimus Prime. Yeah.
Yeah, you're mimicking REM and you are creating the illusion that you're already dead asleep and your body just follows. It's very cool.
Yeah, you're basically saying, here's all those things I do when I fall asleep. I'm going to do them right now. Yeah.
Yep.
Trick.
And
all right, I'm totally going to do it
I'm going
tonight.
to try it too. Yeah, that seems, I mean, I never thought of it.
Everyone let me know.
And my eyes,
Yeah.
you know, there's some, just doing it here kind of chilled me out. You know?
Yeah. Like, did you feel it? It's so
I did. I
weird.
know it looks really stupid on stream, and people are going to probably make GIFs out of it, but
I mean, that's clearly what Susanna Hoffs was doing in the video for "Walk Like an Egyptian" by the Bangles. Clearly,
right?
we
Clearly,
all know.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, she wasn't just beautiful for no reason. She had these eye things
right.
going.
Exactly.
Yeah. She fell asleep immediately after that video.
Well, this is great. It seems like one thing I like about our writers, I think he's got a built-in sense of humor that is
Yes.
clearly. Sometimes we use our humor to protect us in our primal ways.
Yeah.
Maybe he's doing a bit of that, but I like the lighthearted take here. It's nice.
Yeah. Good.
Less doom and gloom. Send us your own thoughts, your feelings, anything you're going through that you might want us to address on the show, and we would be happy to. Wendy, what is going on with knowbetteryou.com right now?
Knowbetteryou.com. Just go give me your email. Actually, go download the sleep techniques. I should add the
Oh, there you
eyeball
go.
movement
Yeah.
one.
It's a good PDF, yeah.
Yeah,
for sure.
it's a good one. So, and then when you have my email, eventually when we're ready for the next stuff, you'll get an email.
Yep.
But,
Just hit that
it's
stay in the loop
something
button right
coming.
there. It's simple. Big old button says stay in the loop. That'll just let you put a quick email in. Wendy does not use your emails she doesn't sell them to Chinese name farms. She's she's very careful with these things. Now, Adam, on the other hand, who knows what he's doing with them? But
Yeah, I mean, he likes to avoid helping me. Let's be honest. But let's spell it right. So KNOWBETTERU, the letter.com.
Yep. NoBetterLetterU.com. Go there today and get signed up. Wendy, it's always hanging out fun. It's always fun hanging out, is what I meant to say.
It's always hanging out.
It's always hanging out fun. Oh my gosh, what just fell? Things have been falling left and right. What is that? Something else
Can
just
you
fell.
keep your shit on your desk?
I don't know what happened. All right, stay out of trouble. Say hi to the boys, and Peter should make something cool. All right, bye. Kids may always make it something cool.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
He's a little maker boy.
Nice.
Wouldn't be surprised if he got
was a
into
maker boy.
printer stuff and all that. He may at some point.
Yeah.
That'll be his jam. All right, we got to get to a couple of quick things. Coverville today, noon.
Yeah, noon. Coming up in an hour and a half, a little under that. Jack White.
Yeah.
He's that guy who was in that band called the White Stripes, and then he was in that band called the Raconteurs, and now he's doing some really cool solo stuff. He just turned 50 years old today. That kid, that amazing talent, that
young upstart.
Yeah, I mean, this guy is such a genius when it comes to music. Anyway, so covers, you'll hear of all those things that I mentioned, his solo stuff, his work with the Raconteurs, and his White Stripes, all coming up at noon, including some covers that he's done. That'll be Coverville, and I'll play a new Fantastic Four based deck.
Oh, very nice.
Marvel Snap.
Perfect
Yes.
timing for that.
Yeah.
Will one of the songs be that?
Of course, yeah. Most covered White Stripes song, most covered Jack White related song in my library easily is that
something
Seven
Army,
Nation Army.
Seven Nation
Yeah.
Army. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
I always forget. I knew it's an Army thing, but I never remember the Seven or the Nation.
I had it in my head when you were singing it, and then I went.
Roll your eyes, Brian. Roll your eyes, quick. Now
I'm
I know
asleep
everything.
now.
Now I'm tired. I could go for a nap.
Anyway, that will be at noon, twitch.tv/Coverville.
Nice. Hang around till 1, because at 1, when Brian finishes or so, we will be starting Core. You can catch that at frogpants.tv. Today's a big one, so please tune in. I say that every week. It's always a big one. It's a long show. But if you want to come check out Core and see what we got going on the video game podcast To Beat, then check it out. frogpants.com/core. And TMS Friday for Patreon folks will be happening tomorrow, 9 a.m. normal time. It's an hour-long bonus show you get once a week if you're a patron of this show. So sign up now if you haven't already, and get it and all the archives at frogpants.com/TMS or directly at patreon.com/TMS. Either one gets you there. And Film Sack this weekend.
Lost World,
Oh,
Jurassic
that's right.
Park 2.
That's right.
Watched it last night.
Dinos Come to America.
Yeah.
Glass bus.
Asterisk.
Cracking glass bus danger.
Those are the two things you'll remember the most from this film, and not much else.
Peter Stormare getting attacked by tiny ones.
By Compsognathus.
That's about it. I think that's all I got about that movie.
Yep. First, it starts with the ooh-ah, and then it turns into, there's the screaming and the running.
That's right. Oh, and then there's a pool and a kid watching a T-Rex in the pool. I remember that. Isn't there a pool? Or the dinosaurs in the pool?
Yes. When it comes to America. When T-Rex comes to America, the kid wakes up and sees the T-Rex drinking out of the pool, and yep.
It'd freak you out pretty good, wouldn't it, if you saw that?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I was dreaming.
Yeah, I would too. Roll your eyes.
Much like his parents did.
Well, there you have it. Yeah, they didn't get up, did they, at all? Those parents are dead to the world. Too much weed. Anyway, so that's all coming up. Lots of content this weekend. We hope you fill your lives with some good, fun stuff to listen to. In the meantime, frogpants.com/TMS. Brian, let's get out of here with a song.
Sure. TRPW submitted this one way back August 21st, 2024. Email or texted me or messaged me in Discord and say, hey, did you ever get that request? He thought he'd sent it much more recently. No, this is way back. This goes all the way back to the Tadpooly Feud girl band round that we did. Name a girl band, right?
Yeah.
Or an all female rock band.
I remember that.
He said, I thought you might want to do Substitute by Clout, a South African girl group from the height of apartheid, which might not be a recommendation. It's a cover of Willie H. Wilson's song, Substitute, recorded first by the Righteous Brothers.
Goodness.
This is wild. Yeah, this is one that I had in my library. I don't know why I didn't see the request the first time or when he sent it, but I'm glad he did. This is a song called Substitute. It was the biggest hit for this band, right? This Clout, bigger than the hit that it was for the Righteous Brothers. But this put Clout on the map, basically. You can find it on the Best of Clout. This thing was recorded way back in 1978. Covering the Righteous Brothers, here is Substitute.
See you guys tomorrow if you're on Patreon, Monday if you're not.
Go to frogpants.com for more amazing. It's like a maze of amazing.
Non sequitur.